If you're sick and tired of having tried everything but still not losing weight, or maybe you do lose weight but it's super slow, then you get stuck and then you gain it all back. I totally get your frustration, and I'm sure watching others on your social media feed killing it is not helping your sense of what am I doing wrong. So you've heard of keto, its rules sound like a huge change to your current eating habits, but hey, you have also heard that it causes 10 pounds of weight loss in 2 weeks, how the weight you lose doesn't come back, and your friends are all singing its praises. You read up on how it works and it seems to make sense. I mean, yeah, if your body can turn into a fat burning machine no matter what you do, sign you up. But is there a lot of misplaced credit being given to keto for these results? Do you need keto to get those results? Sort of like you could wear rain boots to cross a puddle of water and stay dry, but do you need to? Maybe just regular sneakers would get you to stay dry. By the end of this video, you'll know what keto is good for and what results you can get without keto, so you can decide for yourself if you should do keto. Hi Viva fam, Richa here, weight loss coach at CoachViva.com. If you're an analytical thinker trying to lose weight, subscribe and hit the bell icon for new science-backed and practical videos every week. Also, heads up, a few spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consultation call for my Badass Body Boss program, so stick around until the end for the announcement on that. Now let's get started. Okay, so I meet a lot of friends who tell me they're doing keto, and then I watch them eat a ton of chicken and lean protein. Let's distinguish between low carb and keto, because those are two distinct things, and if you're going to do keto, you need to understand what you're signing up for. First, a quick primer on the relationship between calories and macros. Macros are carbs, protein, and fats, and they add up to total calories. Here is how. 1 gram of carb equals 4 calories. 1 gram of protein equals 4 calories too. And 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So if you see a nutrition label like for this pizza and add up the calories from carbs, protein, and fat, it roughly equals the total calories stated on the label. As for why the small 4-calorie difference, check out this video on the inaccuracies of nutrition labels. You can also figure out the percentage contribution of each macro to total calories of this pizza. So 34 grams of fat multiplied by 9 equals 306 calories divided by 650 calories total equals about 47% of calories from fat. Doing a similar calculation for carbs, we see it contributed about 39% to total calories, and protein contributed about 15% to total calories. As you can see, depending on what you eat and drink throughout the day, the ratio of how much fat, carbs, and proteins are making up your total calories for the day changes. Now, back to the difference between low carb and keto. Low carb is simply eating fewer carbs, usually 50 grams or less per day. So if you're eating 1500 calories per day, that means 13% of your calories are from carbs, while the remaining 87% can be split between protein and fat as you wish. There's no rule as to how to split them. But in standard keto, it's very precise. You not only need to control your carbs to be 5% or less of your daily calories, but your calories from protein must also be 25% or less, so that the vast majority of calories, aka 70% or more, are left to come from fat. Going back to if you're eating 1500 calories per day, this comes out to eating 18 grams or less of carbs, a big difference from low carb, which allowed up to 50 grams of carbs. For reference, that's a difference of all of this food. And for protein, it works out to 93 grams or less. This is also a big change because if you cut out grains, cereals, most vegetables, and fruits from your eating plan, what's left? Meat is one of the main food groups left. As a result, you can more easily overshoot the 25% protein target. The reason you must stick to such precise macro ratios is because this is what's needed to get your body into ketosis, aka the state where your body is primarily using fat for fuel. Let's talk more about that. A big draw of keto is the claim that in ketosis you're using fat as your primary source of energy instead of carbs, and thus you'll use up your fat stores faster, aka lose weight faster. Is this so? Not really. Studies like this one show that keto causes no weight loss if people aren't in a calorie deficit. And here's another study done over 1 year showing that if the calorie deficit is the same for a keto group versus a high carb group, the same amount of weight loss is seen. So essentially it comes down to a calorie deficit no matter if you do low carb, low fat, high protein, or whatever. Now you might think, but wait, how is this possible? I'm burning more fat. Well, two things. One, You may be burning more fat on keto, but you're also storing more fat on keto. Let's say you have a diet where 50% of calories come from carbs, which is very normal in the standard diet. In this case, when you eat extra calories from carbs, a lot of it gets stored as glycogen, not fat. So on keto, where you're eating very few carbs, you're not storing glycogen. And since you're mostly eating fat, you're mainly storing body fat. This is why a calorie deficit is still important, because if you burn more energy than you're consuming through food, your body is triggered to use your fat stores. Otherwise, it'll happily continue storing away the extra dietary fat as body fat. Second, how much more fat you're burning on keto versus on a higher carb diet isn't a huge difference. One study found that people who did low carb burned 250 calories extra per day compared to those who did high carb. But if you're eating keto, all 250 calories are probably going to be used up by foods high in fat. And remember, 1 gram of fat equals 9 calories. So the 250 calories are essentially equal to 2 extra tablespoons of peanut butter a day. Again, this is why making sure you're in a calorie deficit is still important, because your extra calorie burn from keto can still easily be outweighed by your food intake. Now, you may be thinking, but my own experience says keto did cause weight loss while nothing else was working. So how could this be? The way keto makes it more possible to have weight loss is by ruling out all the carbs, aka the things we all can overeat like crazy. I mean, 1 chocolate muffin is 600 calories, and I can easily eat 2 to 3 of those. 1 slice of pizza is 300 calories, and I easily eat 3 of them in one sitting. If you cut out all of this, and you cut out starchy vegetables like potatoes, and you cut out beans and legumes, and you cut out starchy fruits like avocado and banana, I mean, what's left? Protein and fats, both of which are way more filling. You can't mindlessly eat chicken breast and pork belly the way you can chips, butter popcorn, and ice cream. Your own fullness prevents you from overeating, and that's why you go into a calorie deficit without counting calories. If you have been counting calories, think you are in a deficit but still not losing weight, either your theoretical maintenance calories are estimated wrong, or it has changed due to lifestyle or physiological factors, and you haven't adjusted for them. If this is you and you jumped into keto and saw weight loss, keto has put you into an actual calorie deficit. That's all. And if you're stuck and want to break out of your plateau without keto, check out this video. Now, maybe for you, it's not about getting unstuck, but rather about losing weight faster. While it is true that at the start, you'll see faster weight loss on keto than on other methods, a lot of that weight loss is not fat loss. It is lean mass loss. Lean mass includes everything that isn't fat, like your muscle, bones, water, glycogen, etc. Even when you drop the number of carbs you're eating, your body still needs to support your daily activities, like enabling you to break into a run, to catch a bus, or walking up many flights of stairs. These sudden bursts of activity are best supported by glycogen, aka stored carbs in your body, because carbs convert into energy more efficiently than fat. But since you aren't eating enough carbs to support these sudden bursts of activity, your body raids your glycogen stores. And since each gram of glycogen is stored with 2.7 grams of water, when your body uses up glycogen, it also lets go of the stored water alongside it. So on the scale, you start seeing massive drops in weight because yes, you're losing some fat depending on your calorie deficit, but the far bigger contributor is the massive amounts of glycogen and water you're losing. But as you continue on keto, you'll see your weight loss rate get slower until it matches what you'd see on any other weight loss method. This is because you've lost all the glycogen and water you can lose, and it's mainly fat loss causing weight loss from that point forward, like in any other weight loss method. So from a purely fat loss perspective, you're losing the same amount of fat given the same calorie deficit, whether you do keto or some other method. The other thing I hear is the weight you lose on keto doesn't come back. As you can tell by now, there's no magic. It's simply a calorie deficit, and if you resumed eating greater than maintenance for your current size, you'd start gaining the weight back. So if you did keto, lost weight, and haven't gained it back, what's happening is you just haven't resumed all your old eating habits. I bet if you listed the differences before and after keto in your eating habits, you'll notice some differences, like maybe the snacks you're reaching for are different now, or the frequency at which you're eating is lower, and so on. This is what's causing you to not regain the weight back. It's got nothing to do with having done keto before. In fact, you'd experience the same thing with any weight loss method. For example, if you did Whole30 and then after it was over, didn't resume all your old eating habits, you'd still manage to keep your weight off. So who is keto for? There's only one group for whom the answer is clear-cut. If you have a medical condition that keto has been shown to help with, like epilepsy, and your doctor recommends it for your condition, then go for it. For everyone else, you need to make your decision based on diet restrictions, goal, sustainability, and risk tolerance. Let's start with diet restrictions. If you're vegan or vegetarian, you're going to have a much harder time following keto to the point that it may not be tenable. Next, if your goal is weight loss and you don't care about being in ketosis outside of losing weight, you could be like one of my friends I mentioned who follow the guidelines to the best of their abilities, but don't bother meeting the precise macros. They're probably not in ketosis, but the diet provides enough simple rules to follow that they end up in a calorie deficit without calorie counting and therefore lose weight. This sort of rough keto diet could work. And if you're aiming for sustainability, then as you do this rough keto, evaluate in social situations and day to day if it feels like you're able to easily continue following the guidelines despite the surprises life throws at you. Lastly, risk tolerance comes in due to keto being a rather extreme diet where you're cutting out grains, cereals, most vegetables, beans, legumes, and fruits. That's a lot of micronutrients you're not getting that your body relies on. Secondly, you're also consuming a lot of dietary fat. The long-term effects of both of these factors are unknown. Now, with all of that said, as you know by now, keto is not magic. It's simply putting you in a calorie deficit. You could attain a calorie deficit without cutting out grains, cereals, most vegetables, beans, legumes, and fruits. So the question for you is, why not do it this way? Side note, standard keto is fine as long as your goal is fat loss. But if you ever switch to wanting to gain muscle, not just preserve it, then it's really hard to do that on standard keto, which is why most bodybuilders and athletes doing keto follow cyclical keto or targeted keto, both of which break the strict 5% or less carb rule by allowing higher carbs around workouts. And even then, it's been seen that their performance and muscle gain is slower than if they ate higher carbs. If you're struggling to lose weight and your priority is to lose it sustainably and you don't really care which method gets you there, then check out the Badass Body Boss program. The program is built for you if you, 1, value learning in depth the science and psychology behind the entire process, 2, believe that weight loss need not be so complicated, that each method out there works for someone at some stage, and that you just need a clear plan to following your methods for your stage, and 3, are excited by the idea of working in a collaborative fashion with me to build your own customized, sustainable roadmap to lifelong success. If that's you, good news. A few spots have opened up for a free one-to-one consultation call. Note, this is not a coaching call, and that booking a call does not guarantee you'll be admitted into the program. So if you're serious, click on the link in the description below to book a one-to-one consultation call for the Badass Body Boss program. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button, be sure to subscribe or follow us on Instagram, and share this video with whoever else you feel could use this information. And be sure to check out these 2 videos to learn more about how to lose fat and gain muscle like a body boss. You can do it.